What is up? You are tuned in to Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan Enjoys Wrestling and MWO, and you are watching our WWE edition for October 17th, 2025, where we're going to talk all things SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and we have some predictions for Halloween Havoc. Ryan has no idea what Halloween Havoc is or that it's on this weekend, but we're still going to do our best at making the predictions, aren't we, Ryan?
Yeah, to full disclosure, I completely forgot that Halloween Havoc was this week. And I got to be honest, man, with all these WWE events going on, because we have NXT or Saturday night's main event next week, we have Halloween Havoc, we just had Crown Jewel last couple weeks ago. It makes it hard, man. Like, I want to do other segments. I want to do like highs and lows. I want to do unpopular opinions, but it's hard to do it with all these shows. So and they're all starting to run together. So we got predictions galore for sure.
Every week, baby. Every week. That's right. How we do. Right. All right. Well, yeah, man, we got a jam-packed show. SmackDown and Raw was cooking. NXT was all over the place. We have the predictions. I think it's time to hit that music. You ready?
I do too. Let's go.
Two dudes with attitudes. Let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're riding, didn't they here to get your attention? The 5-star broadcast shit. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
Man, this SmackDown seems like it was like a decade ago now, but it was definitely a lot of things went on. Let's break it down. And you know what? I want to start at the end. Are you ready? Let's start at the end. And yes, there was rumors galore that Jacob Fatu was injured, undisclosed, non-wrestling injury. But then they announced that it's Drew versus Jacob Fatu for the #1 contendership. Kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, where are they going with this? And why is Drew McIntyre in contention for a title shot? For a title shot again. And then Fatu gets jumped. No one sees it. Drew comes out, declares himself as the #1 contender. Cody comes out. He's not having it. Declares a title match, and I guess it was official, and they just wrestle. Cody hits him with the belt. They scrap. The show's over, and my entire TikTok is filled with Cody's the one who did it to Fatu. So I'll let you have the first breakdown of all this madness. What you think? The Drew Cody, they're official at Saturday night's main event. What say you?
I thought the way we got there was absolutely stupid. The show opened with Nick Aldis in the ring, and he was like, "Hey everyone, Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre are competing for a #1 contender spot in next week at Saturday night's main event, and whoever wins will be facing this man." Like, it was like some mystery as to who they will be facing.
Yeah.
And then like the crowd was silent, like, who is it? Who's it gonna be? And then Cody Rhodes' music hit, and then they popped. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, you can't be like that gullible, right? Like, you really thought it was somebody else. It was just very, very strange. And then Cody cut a promo that was awful. It was like, hey, who do you guys think is going to win between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu? I said, who do you think is going to win between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu? I guess we'll find out. See you guys later. Da, 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 da. And that was the end of the set. I was like, that's like the worst promo he's ever cut. So I thought that whole intro was really bad. But then, listen, Jacob Fatu getting jumped, it was a weird way of like announcing the match and then getting out of it, and Drew McIntyre getting in contention when he just lost to Cody Rhodes. All of it, a lot of it doesn't make sense.
Cleanly.
Cleanly. And like in 7 minutes, it was like a short match too. It's like he got one crossroads and he didn't kick out, and that was it. But Cody Rhodes did not attack Jacob Fatu. Everybody needs to stop with this whole Cody Rhodes is going heel. Cody Rhodes is doing this. Cody Rhodes is the bad guy. He's the one that attacked Jacob Fatu. He did not attack Jacob Fatu. They're not turning their biggest babyface heel so soon, especially after what they just did at SummerSlam when John Cena, who's the biggest babyface in the company's history, raised Cody Rhodes' arm as like in like a passing of the torch moment just 2 months ago. Everyone forgets that was 2 months ago. It feels like forever ago, so I get it, but it was just 2 months ago. And that was like the torch bearing moment for Cody Rhodes. they're not turning him heel anytime soon. He's going to be the top babyface going forward. So stop with this whole he's the attacker, he did this, he did that, he did it. He's going to be a bad guy and it's going to be great. I agree, his championship reign needs some pizzazz, but turning him heel is not going to do it. Yeah, but I think the attacker is Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton is the one that makes the most sense. Attacking Jacob Fatu. Finally, he goes heel, and we get Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton at some point.
Yeah, I see that happening way more. I mean, people don't. The funny thing is, I'm not throwing a knock at you either because I'm going to add Jey Uso into this thing. But I think people on this app, TikTok and so on, Instagram, wherever, will sit around and make 90% of their posts being about how TKO's money hungry, WWE only cares about money, and then they'll post that Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel. So it always makes me realize how stupid a lot of content creators are, because if the WWE and TKO only care about money, then why would they give up their biggest money maker and the face of their company for a heel turn, which would turn him into making no money? No matter what you think, heels don't make as much money in shirt sales as baby faces. Why? Because adults don't buy merchandise. Kids do. Females do. Parents who bring their kids do. Like, it's not like these people are out here like, I'm going to go scoop up 17 Drew McIntyre t-shirts. Does he sell some? Sure. Will he go number one once in a while? Sure. But in the long run, it's Cody. You know who else it is? Jey Uso. So he's not going to turn heel. You're not going to take away money from your company. That if that's all you gotta make it make sense. Do they care about it or do they not? Now, yes, Triple H believes in spontaneous, and we're going to talk about that pretty soon, about how he'll just do something for doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like Jerry Maguire when he's leaving after he quits. Like, I know you guys are going to think I'm going to do something stupid, but I'm not. Like, he's just like, I get that's Triple H every day when they come in. Like, back in the days, it was Vince, and he would be like, give me that script. Grumble, grumble, rip, rip, rip. Start over. Well, we start in 10 minutes, Vince. You better get going. Triple H more goes in and says, like, hey, guys, what are we going to do today? Something stupid. I think Dragunov's sitting back there. Get out there, buddy. You're going to buzzer tonight. I think that's what we do. It's just like random shit. But to say that they're going to turn Cody is it's just stupid. But with that said, Drew and Cody again. Is there any universe that Drew loses? Like, what's the percentage? Like, why, if you're putting Drew, he lost. Then he faced Cody and he lost. And then he faced Cody again, in which everyone thought he was going to win, and he lost in like 2 minutes. He's going to lose it. Like, he can't lose, right? Like, this is like not possible.
I think this universe is the one that I've given up hope on Drew McIntyre. Like, I love Drew. I think he's one of the best wrestlers that WWE has. I think he's one of the best heels that they have, and I think he deserves a well-deserved second WWE championship reign, and I think he'd be the perfect person to dethrone Cody. But for whatever reason, Triple H, A, loves Cody Rhodes, B, loves really long title reigns on the world champions in particular. The Intercontinental Championship, the U.S. title, play hot potato with that all you want. The tag team titles, play hot potato. The world titles, no, we're not changing those anytime soon. They're gonna be year-long reigns plus. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like he didn't pull the trigger on Drew McIntyre beating Roman. He didn't pull the trigger on Drew McIntyre beating Punk. He didn't pull the trigger on Drew McIntyre. Like, Drew McIntyre always loses in the big moments. So I think this universe is the one where Drew McIntyre is going to lose. As much as I hate to say it, I think he's he's the current version of Finn Balor when Finn Balor was a singles wrestler. Like, he gets all the way to the top, gets these title matches, but he's never going to win the belt.
This is his third, like, in 4 or 5 months. You can't lose again to Cody.
I agree.
It's just impossible. Like, why put him? And don't say, well, Fatu wasn't gonna face Cody. That wasn't next. Like, why not throw Randy in there? Throw Randy in there. Why not? We're ready. If you have nothing, don't put back a guy. I hate saying buried. I hate saying like this is career. But this might be the first time in my life I think this is like career ending in the sense of Drew ever being that guy again. You can't take someone serious. Like, Finn will never be that guy again. It won't happen. You know how much work they would have to put into Finn Balor to make him that guy? Austin Theory. You know how much work they would have? Like, when you put someone in there, that's why Wade Barrett never became that guy. When John Cena literally buried him with a bunch of chairs, he never recovered. He was never that guy. I'm not saying Drew's fired. I'm not saying Drew won't continue to wrestle, have big matches. He'll just never be that guy. You can't do this to a person. Like, look at the Buffalo Bills. They lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. How many times have they been back?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's just, it is what it is, man. It just, you can't do it.
No,
He has to win. He has to win.
But also Triple H at these Saturday night main events, we're already going to have a new World Heavyweight Champion crown. Is he going to give away both titles in one night? You know, like it's, yeah.
We'll talk about that on Raw, but Santi already told me how it's going to end. All right. Speaking of something, because you're saying a lot of people are saying Saturday night's main event is pointless. Well, Tiffany Stratton just announced that Crown Jewel was pointless. She literally was interviewed backstage about her loss, and she literally said, "I don't give 2 shits. I have not lost in a year. This match didn't count. It doesn't matter. And whoever's next is next." Bro, is she John Cena? Like, once again, when things are true, you don't state them. You're supposed to state things that aren't true, because if it's true, then it's real and you're beating up the pro. You just literally said Crown Jewel was pointless. Literally, like this person who wrestled.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. It's Tiffany Stratton, man. Like, I'm surprised she still has the WWE Women's Championship. Right? After all the trouble she's caused with Charlotte Flair. There's been some other things like a match a couple weeks ago with Nia Jax. There was all kinds of stuff with the botch ending there. There's always something going on with stuff involving Tiffany Stratton. And now she's saying that Crown Jewel, whether it's a scripted line or not, just did not matter, did not count. It's just like, how many strikes are we going to give this girl? But at the same time, I think she's doing a great job as a women's champion. So I'm not.
Well, yeah, she
doesn't need to be stripped of the title or anything, but it does feel like trouble seems to find her. She always seems to put her foot in her mouth from time to time as the women's champion. Maybe it's something that she's just going to have to learn from. I don't know, but I thought that was a weird segment, a weird thing for her to say. And whoever she wrestles next, she wrestles next. Like, I'm like, what? That's dumb. Yeah, it was stupid.
Jake Argo. Yeah, well, my thing is, I was gonna make a comment about the foot in the mouth, but I'll say this: maybe Kaiser, when he became El Grande Americano, was like, "Yo, I'll do El Grande Americano. Tiffany never loses," and they're like, "All right, deal. We need an El Grande Americano." Because I don't see why else she can say whatever she wants. This girl had racist posts pop up on her Twitter recent, and nothing happened. I mean, she's been pretty much untouchable, so she has something on them. I mean, she's great. But I mean, people do far less and never recover. So, and I'm not giving, like I said, I think she's fantastic. I love her. I'm just saying the girl does whatever and says whatever. Like, that could not have been a scripted moment. They did not say, like, go out there and say Crown Jewel.
Unless she humbled the script to say, like, hey, we're going to move on from that loss. Luckily, my title wasn't impacted and it wasn't a championship match, so it doesn't count in my, like, maybe she meant that, but that's not what she said. So
no,
it certainly didn't come across that way.
No, it did not. And Sami Zayn's U.S. Open Challenge continued, Ryan. We were loving it. The world was loving it. People were saying it might be better than Cena's U.S. Open. It was feeling good. I was stating that it was a push for him to fight for the World Championship. And then he made a challenge. It was supposed to be Carmelo. Miz takes him out. They scramble, and out comes Dragunov, a man who hasn't been on TV for a year. And when he was here a year ago, he was a C-level wrestler. So what do? They let him beat Sami right off the bat, and Dragunov's your new champion. The crowd did react at first because they're like, yay, a surprise. And then the crowd didn't give 2 shits afterwards. What say you? Everyone's saying this is Dragunov's moment. I say it's not. I think when you do something for the pop, it never works. You don't believe me? Go check out John Cena's heel turn. You don't believe me? Go look at Brock Lesnar's squash match. You don't believe me? Look at any time Triple H has done something spontaneously stupid just for the pop. This is another prime example of that. I think this is going to hurt Dragunov more than help him, only because why not have him come back, have a few good matches, beat someone good, and then enter into Sami Zayn's Open Challenge a month from now. Give him 4 matches, then people like him again. He feels good. Have him all of a sudden come out for the Open Challenge and then win the title. Same impact, but you build him up again. Not everyone knows who Dragunov is. So that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm off base, but I thought it was very, very bizarre booking. Even Sami looked shocked.
Even the whole Sami Zayn, like, hey, Nick, why am I not on the card tonight? Like, what's going on? Why didn't you book me? And, we need to protect you from the MFTs, and
Mhm.
you've already been causing trouble, and Shinsuke wants a clear rematch. So why don't you just sit back? And then
Mhm.
he's like, okay, I'm gonna go out there because that's not how we do things here. And then he goes out there and he loses to
Mhm.
like you did all that. You hyped everything up just to go out and lose. It was
Mhm.
a really really weird setup, and the match itself was it was fine. It was I mean
Yeah.
the crowd popped
It's a
and they were happy
Dragunov
to see
match.
Dragunov. Yeah, but I'm curious to see what happens with it. What happens with the U.S. Championship from here? How does he continue the U.S. Open challenges? Does Sami Zayn get a rematch? Like what's going to happen? I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. But in short term, I don't think this was the right decision. But we'll see how they are, what they do in the long term.
Yeah, but then right after the match, what we're going to talk about last is that the MFTs came out and beat them all down. They beat up Zayn and Dragunov, and then they just kind of roll out of the ring, and it's all to focus on the Wyatts. And the Wyatts come in, and what's going on with the Wyatts? Are we getting Solo Sikoa versus Nikki, or what? Is this happening? Because they line up every single time, and them two are constantly into each other. Are they going at it? I don't know what's going on right now. Like the Wyatts have 3 guys, the MFTs have 5,
Yeah,
and they keep backing out. I don't understand. Like there's 3 of them and 5 because Bo hasn't been coming out. So I'm very confused by this whole thing. I mean, the crowd likes it, so maybe I'm out of it, but I don't know. I mean, I like the makeup, although I can't tell who any of them are except for the tall one. Like
yeah, the
literally their makeup
Yeah.
makes me all like, I'm like, who the hell are these guys? I don't know why I
They
can't
look
tell them
like
apart.
Kiss. They look like the band
They
Kiss. I'm like,
I love Kiss, so that's one of my favorite bands of all time.
yeah, I
Top
love
2
Kiss too.
easily. But no, I'm just confused. But what say you? Like, why'd they attack Zayn and Dragunov? Are they getting involved in the MFTs? And then why would you stare down the Wyatts? You couldn't do this later?
I
Like,
feel like I feel like we're getting this match at War Games, and I really don't want it to be. I think they're gonna get because they attacked Shinsuke Nakamura last
Zayn,
week.
Dragunov, the Wyatts.
Shinsuke,
Is
and
that
then like 2 of the Wyatts or something like
yeah.
the two tag team champions, and then um, versus the MFTs. I think and I really don't want this match at War Games. I don't think it should be in War Games. People are on X and social media and stuff. They're like, "This is a great match for War Games," and people don't know what you're talking about. I'm like,
It
it
is?
would be if this. I think it would be if this match began like 6 months ago, and because War Games is usually like the blow off match, like it's like Hell in a Cell. It's the end of a match, the end of a war. That's why it's called War Games, and then everyone moves on. This is the beginning. This feud just started. This all just started. And now it's going to feel like it's randomly thrown together. But I do think that's exactly what they're doing. Is that with Seth Rollins and his injury and everything going on with the Vision, I think they're pivoting to do this match at War
Pivot.
Games with Sammy and Shinsuke and Ilya Dragunov teaming up with 2 members of the Wyatts, maybe 3 members of the Wyatts, and Shinsuke and I don't know how they're gonna do it, but against the MFTs, and I really that feels like such a letdown.
It would be a huge. Is it going to be? Well, I guess Shinsuke too, because Nikki can't wrestle, so maybe Shinsuke. Well, no, there's 4 of them. No, there's 3 of them. There's 3 guys, 4 guys. 1, 2. No, there's 4 guys if Bo does it. So they would just need
There's
1.
four Wyatts and then Nikki Cross, and then Bray is
But
technically
Nikki Cross can't get in there.
Yeah,
She can't get in the War Game. Maybe she can. I don't know. Guys are beating up on girls all the time now in wrestling. I don't know when that became
I
a
don't
thing
think she'll
again.
get
But
War Games, but
no, so maybe you
4
only need
Wyatts
1.
and
Maybe it's only
Sammy,
Shinsuke. I don't. Yeah.
4 Wyatts and Shinsuke, 4 Wyatts and Dragon. I don't know. They'll do
Mhm.
something, but and it just feels like a huge letdown from what we were probably most likely supposed to have.
Oh no, this is a huge. I don't care about anybody. A good match, sure, it's a good match. But War Game's supposed to be the main event, so obviously that won't main event. Maybe it'll be Dominic versus John Cena for the IC Championship. You see how many people stole that from me? Woo! Everybody stole that thing's a thing. That was on WWE. Or Dominic posted it or something like that. People stole that shit from me. Santi, all of them. They all stole that shit from me. I love having receipts. Go back and check it out. It's hilarious. All these people screaming for Dom versus John Cena.
Yeah.
Gosh, these people, man. This internet. All right, let's get into Raw because Ryan, I like it Raw. Let's
We
get
all do,
into it.
man.
ODB, baby. ODB. And we got Paul Heyman opening up Raw. He explains with the Vision on why they attacked Seth. They vacate Seth's title and announce that it'll be CM Punk versus the winner of the Battle Royal later on at Saturday night's main event. I'll let you break it all down. What say you? What do you think of Paul Heyman's reasoning? What do you think of Seth not vacating the title himself? And what do you think about CM Punk versus a winner of a Battle Royal?
I thought all of it was very, very strange. I thought it was, I don't mind. Obviously, CM Punk getting the match at Saturday night's main event was completely fine.
Yeah.
The events that led up to it. Paul Heyman's promo was great. I like that he threw a dig at Seth Rollins not being able to shoulder the load, and because he can't, because of he technically hurt his shoulder, and he's having to have surgery. So very, very cute little pun there. So I liked Paul Heyman's promo. I liked Braun Breaker refusing to give the title over to Adam Pearce and basically making him beg for it, making him say please and all this. That was cool. It was an intimidating moment, showing that how badass of a wrestler Braun Breaker is.
Yes.
Everything after that made no sense to me. So you have this battle royal. You have earlier in the night, you have Braun Breaker establishing his dominance over Adam Pearce by he's holding the championship during Paul Heyman's promo. He's the one that wants to take it from Adam Pearce wants to take it from. He's the one that turned on Seth Rollins last week and started this whole thing, but he's not in the battle royal. To me, that was strange. And then the reasoning behind it was really stupid. All of that was just so dumb. You hyped him up, you made him look strong, and then you're like, yeah, we're not going to have you in the battle royal. Sorry. And it was just, So to me, him not being in it and Bronson not being in it was a complete letdown of this battle royal. And then the battle royal participants themselves was a huge letdown as well. There was really other than Dominic, and there was really nobody else that I think deserved it. And
60% of the people already wrestled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was people who had all wrestled earlier tonight. They're like, you guys are all back in. Get in there, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Get in there, you nuts.
It was strange. I didn't get it. And you could have used that for an opportunity to have somebody return, have somebody debut. You want to bring Dragunov back, bring him back in the Battle Royal. At least make it interesting. And have him get eliminated, sure, but at least it makes it a little bit interesting, and the gives people something to talk about. But so Jey Uso ends up winning the Battle Royal, and he goes 2-0 in the year 2025 in over-the-top rope Battle Royal matches with the Royal Rumble and now this one, in both of which made him the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. So shout out to Jey Uso on that. He shows up when it counts. And he stared down CM Punk at the end, and we're getting Punk versus Jey Uso at Saturday night's main event when it could have been Punk versus Braun Breaker, who you've been building up. Made no sense.
I appreciate you knocking down 2 of our segments out of our 4 right away. My man, I enjoy it. Let's get this shit going. Look, I loved Paul Heyman's reasoning. I don't like Seth not being there. Shoulder injury kept him out, and it's not even a serious shoulder injury, I hear. It's not serious in the fact he's going to be gone forever. People think he'll easily be back by Mania, but also we're also only getting information from Dave Stupid, so who knows? Yeah, but Paul Heyman basically said they knew his shoulder was injured, so they took him out. They didn't want a injured, one-shouldered leader of their vision, so they took him out and laid him out. They didn't lay him out strong, so I don't know why they did it that way. I don't know if this was all just they weren't sure if he was injured, so they went this route, and then they were like, whoops, maybe we should have beat him up more. But I still liked it. Paul Heyman did his damn thing. I don't like the Vision not being in it, but I do like Paul Heyman telling the Vision basically look, what was Punk before me? What was Lesnar before me? Who the fuck was Roman Reigns before me? None of these people were anything because of me. And even Braun was like, but I agree with you. For one, why did Braun have the belt, not Bronson? That made no sense. What the hell did Braun do that was better than Bronson? Bronson was actually the last guy to lay him out, so technically it should have been Bronson. Why even wear? Why even wear the belt? Yeah, exactly. That made no sense, because if you're not going to do it, don't put the belt on him.
He's the tribal thief. It all made he stole the belt.
Yes, he stole the belt. He is the tribal thief. He takes things. Yeah, it made no flipping sense. Braun's not ready, ladies and gentlemen. Stop with the whole Braun Breaker world champion. He's not even close to being ready. Stop. This is how we ruin careers. You don't believe me? I can go on a list and a list and a list of people who got the championship too early that didn't deserve it. So let's not get into that. Jey Uso did win, but there were some fun things in the Jey Uso. Number one, Jimmy saved him twice from being eliminated. And the first chance Jey Uso had, he eliminated Jimmy Uso with LA Knight. Yeah. LA Knight fans, stop bitching. I saw our boy Johnny post a video about, I feel so sorry for all of you LA Knight fans. No, it is not. I'd rather have him lose in a battle royal and not get a shot than face CM Punk and lose to get his shot. If you don't believe me, ask Drew McIntyre. It's a lot worse to lose for the title than it is to lose to get to the title. So no, LA Knight fans should be ecstatic. He wasn't going to win the championship. Not only that, Dominic Mysterio was eliminated. Nobody saw it. He snuck back in. It was about to eliminate Jey Uso, got duped and fell out of the ring and got runner-up. Why the hell are you going to have Dominic get eliminated but not to just have him like, this was the perfect opportunity. We can get into the next thing too, because two of his buddies lost the tag team titles. Roxanne lost the championship match. Dominic's the only one winning. He has 2 belts. You have this man face CM Punk at Saturday night's main event to try to win his 3rd championship. You know how much money that is? And then, hello, he's the new Mercedes Moné. And then you have him try to fight for this title, face CM Punk, have the Judgment Day cost him the match, which then, because they're jealous and they don't want him to win 3 because they all don't have any, and boom, now you have the turn, you have the Liv Morgan return ready, CM Punk wins and moves on. That was like a Triple H. Do I need to hand this to you? Do I need to put it in a bottle and breastfeed it to you? Like how, this is like easy ass flipping booking, but instead we go back to Jey. Why? So we can have Jimmy turn on Jey and blah, blah, blah. I know you're going to say differently, but rinse and repeat, homie.
That's
all for the Usos again.
No, I agree. And I think the only reason, and also if you really want to look at it, like Jey Uso just got pinned by CM Punk last week to become the first Punk to become the #1 contender. And now he's the #1 contender facing Punk because he wins a battle royal. So that's why I think WWE is something's brewing. That's why they put Jey Uso back in this match. And I personally think what would make more sense than Jimmy turning heel, because we've seen that. We've been there and done that with the Jimmy Uso heel turn. If he turns heel again, he's going to be the modern day Big Show with the amount of babyface turns and heel turns that he has, because he's been heel and face so way too many times. But I think what they should do, and I know I just talked about Cody Rhodes not going heel, but I think what makes more sense in my mind is Jey Uso going heel. And I think this maybe was the plan from the very beginning. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but I'm going to borrow the plot from the greatest Star Wars movie in the history of the franchise. And that's Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, where Jey Uso joins the dark side. Jey Uso is Anakin Skywalker. Roman Reigns has been his Obi-Wan. And Paul Heyman has been the Emperor. And Jey Uso is going to take all the training that Roman Reigns has given him, go to the dark side, join the Emperor, join the Vision, lead the Vision, and use all of Roman Reigns' training against him with Paul Heyman as his wise man. In my opinion, that gives you a War Games match with a newly Jey Uso Vision against Roman Reigns and Jimmy. You got Punk involved. You got LA Knight. You got Roman and Jimmy having beef because, Roman wouldn't listen to Jimmy, and now look at what happened. It's all Roman's fault. You got Punk. There's all kinds of things that you can do. This could get you to WrestleMania where Jey could drop the belt. We could get Roman versus Jey again. We could get Jimmy versus Jey. We could get Punk versus Jey, LA Knight versus Jey. I feel like there's so many scenarios that they can go with a heel Jey Uso joining the dark side, joining the Paul Heyman, joining the Vision, leading the Vision, and going heel while Jimmy and Roman remain babyface.
That's another thing that makes sense. You don't have Dom doing it. That would be the best case scenario. But I also think that's way above Triple H's thinking.
I too. So he won't do it.
I don't think that's going to happen. No. I think it's Punk nonsense.
What'll happen is it'll either be something huge or absolutely nothing. And I'm leaning more towards absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and I don't take Santi's thing either when he's trying to spread around that the Vision are going to interrupt. That would be a bigger letdown of having a vacated title match. And because it's Saturday night's main event, you can't do that. Well, hell yeah, you can. Nothing ever happens on Saturday night's main event. It's about time you do something big on Saturday night's main event. The Vision ending it. I mean, if that match goes first, all right, I can see it. But if not, I don't see it happening. Unless we're going to have John Cena wrestling, and that's going to make up for division costing. I don't see how that makes sense. I don't know. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Division interrupting do nothing. What? Then it leads to a 3-way later. I mean, and Braun Breaker's not winning, so that just I don't know.
No, I've seen people say that Braun Breaker should take Jey Uso out like he did Seth Rollins before, and then he gets inserted into the match, and I'm like, no, he's not ready. He's not that guy. I'm sorry, not yet. He will be, but not right now.
Oh, he for sure will be, but not right now. No. All right. Well, speaking of, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee win the tag team titles at Judgment Day or no more. CM Punk was on commentating, and he announced them as the new AJ Lee as their tag team. I like it. He said he was their biggest fan. Yeah, man. I think out of all of this, it showed me two things. One, Judgment Day's breaking up. Two, Triple H doesn't care about the tag team division. I mean, you're just throwing together AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for shits and giggles. And you're having them win for shits and giggles. Yeah, that means you don't care about the tag team division. We should just shut them down. Shut them down. Why not?
I agree. I don't disagree with you. And I think number 3, I think AJ Styles got a lot of praise and a lot of love for his retirement match his match in the John Cena retirement tour at Crown Jewel. And I think this was Triple H's way of rewarding him for those efforts in that match. And because that tends to be what happens, right? Like John Cena got a lot of love for that match because he won, but now they're rewarding the guy that also was, runner-up in that match, who also put on a great show. So I think that's kind of what they were doing here, but I completely agree. This was a randomly thrown together tag team that has no business winning the tag team championships, and now they're the tag team champions. So yawn. And just WWE continues to have the weakest tag division in all of pro wrestling. It's awful, both on SmackDown and Raw. SmackDown's is good, but it's repetitive. Raw is just not there. Like it's the War Raiders, the New Day, and the Judgment Day, and Dragon AJ Lee. That's all we got. And it's just like. And speaking of AJ Lee, where the hell is she? Like, can we get her back on TV?
I wish.
Yeah, me too.
CM Punk, get her back. All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and honestly, SmackDown ain't doing what the Wyatts. When was the last time they defended their tag titles? They don't. The champions don't do shit. Lastly, Maxine Dupree defeats Becky Lynch once again. I want to hear your take on that and what the hell is the point of this? We have nothing else for Becky to do, so we're just going to build this up as many times as we can until Becky finally beats her. But the big thing was Paul Heyman was backstage, and Becky, after her match, confronted him, got right in his face, and basically said he is DOA the next time Seth sees him. She said Seth smelt this decades ago, knew it was going to happen, was already prepared, and when he sees him again, it's going to be trouble. I loved every second of it, and I love that we're hyping for the future. And Becky Lynch, man, I want to have her confront me one time. Please.
Yeah.
Please.
I think she did the best job of anybody in this whole storyline, and she wasn't
right
directly
She's
involved.
Doing the best work, period, of her career.
She was fantastic. And, I like Paul Heyman's facial expressions. Like, he looked genuinely intimidated, like, oh, shit, what did I just do? I think I just messed up. And all because of what Becky Lynch was saying. And she was getting at him. Like, she was like, he's not going to hurt you. He's not going to kill you, but you're going to wish he had. He's not going to hurt you, but you're going to wish he had. Like, it was just all kinds of like psychological warfare that she was throwing at Paul Heyman. And it was glorious. And he reacted to it beautifully. But with the Maxine Dupree thing, I think what they're doing is Chad Gable 2.0. I said this last week when we did our true or false segment, but I think they're kind of trying to do Maxine Dupree as the Chad Gable to Becky Lynch being the Gunther, where Chad Gable beat Gunther by disqualification, and then Chad Gable beat Gunther by count out, and so he was confident that he could beat Gunther, and then he never actually did, and then we don't need to talk about that, but I think they're trying to do that with Maxine Dupree, and she beat her last week. Now this week she beats her by disqualification, and now here we are. Like, I think she's going to build some confidence, thinking that she can beat Becky Lynch, and maybe she is the one to beat Becky Lynch. Maybe she beats her in a random upset, and Triple H rights the wrong that was Chad Gable, and maybe this brings Chad Gable back, and he realizes that I was wrong. I never should have left the Alpha Academy. Look at you now, like. Or he comes back and he's still an asshole to her. I don't know. But either way, I think they're kind of going the Chad Gable direction with this story. But I think they're going to hopefully do it the right way this time, or just don't do it at all.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that is what they're doing. Obviously, Becky's not going to lose in the end. So that's what they're doing. But maybe Becky just doesn't have anyone. I get it. And maybe it will push Maxine Debris. It worked for Chad Gable. He became a lot bigger after the Gunther thing, even though we all thought Gunther should have won. I don't think anyone's going to get there with Maxine where they think she should win. I think people are still shitting on her, saying that she's not talented enough. But here's the thing. Maybe she's not. But what do? You put her against the best female wrestler in the world right now to carry her and make her look even better. That's how you push a star.
Yeah.
You don't have to win. I said that about Dom. I said Dom should have wrestled CM Punk, and everyone's like, you're an idiot. How would that help Dirty Dom and blah, blah, blah? Because sometimes when you just face the best and have great matches and come up close, it can work. You know what I mean? So, yeah, sometimes it works in people's favors, unless it's Drew. You can't lose. But if you have one, and it's a one-off, and you shouldn't have got it, and you did, and you put out a good showing, that propels you. It makes you into superstardom. It happens all the time. Happens in MMA, for crying out loud. People who almost beat people all the time or should have won become superstars, and they never won a match, and they never win again. But they always live off that. I almost beat John Jones. That's how it works, man.
That's what they're literally doing that right now with. I know it's AJ Styles, and like he's already an established wrestler, but I was just saying that like he finished. He didn't beat John Cena, but he gave John Cena a hell of a fight. And now he's being rewarded with the tag team championships. I think you're right. I think there's something to it. Like, go out there, put on a hell of a show, and you'll be rewarded in the long run.
Oh, Ryan enjoys wrestling. I'm always right. Always right.
All right. Be MWF, man. I've been telling you that.
I'm 100%. All right, let's get into NXT, baby. This NXT was jam-packed. And let's start off with Sol Ruca. So her and Zarya had a match on SmackDown, a tag team women's title match. They wrestled. It was a good match. Sol Ruca was on the side. Charlotte Flair hit her from the knee behind. They threw her back in the ring. She then, after she got pinned, and then she couldn't get up. She was holding that same knee. They carried her out. They had people record them doing it. Then she comes on NXT and basically states she has a gigantic brace on. It's like comical, right? It's like the biggest, it's like they're really compensating, right? It's like a guy who like stuffs his pants, right? But he just does it a little too much. It's like Barney on How I Met Your Mother, where he tells like all these things, and then like he ends telling the story with, and your cock is huge, or your penis is huge, and they're like, oh, and that's how they know it's fake, because they're like, oh, you went too far. That's kind of like what it was. Like, your knee brace is gigantic. But nonetheless, she says she's not vacating. She doesn't know how long she's going to be out, because I guess she never met with a doctor. And then she states for sure it's not Halloween Havoc, because she hasn't met with the doctor. Maybe she has an appointment after Halloween Havoc. Maybe she has an appointment on Sunday. And then Blake Monroe comes out and basically pulls a Drew McIntyre and is like, give me the belt. Give me. And I'm like, I'll give you anything you want, Blake. And then Zarya says, no dice. I'll face you. And Sol Ruca gives like the most like, okay, I've ever seen. And we got Zarya and Blake Monroe. So I got questions for you. Number one, I know I say this all, Seth Rollins, man, got me tripping. She's not injured, right? 100% not. This is all a thing, right? This is story. This is like all planned, right? So Zarya can step in, maybe lose, maybe Sol turns on her and beats him. I don't know why she would do that if it's her title. I don't know, but is this all to get Blake? Or is she injured and not injured that long? And maybe Zarya is going to defend it a few times, and then she'll be like, I've helped you defend it. But I don't see Zarya beating Blake Monroe. I don't see how you bring Mariah May to NXT to have her lose to Zarya. I don't know. What say you? What are we doing here? I haven't heard anything. Dave and Sean Ross Stupid have not once said that. I haven't heard anything about her being injured for real. So I don't know. You know?
Yeah, I also like how Ava was like not the one making the decision. You know, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce was like, yeah, Seth Rollins, he has to vacate the championship, so Braun Breaker, give it to me. Ava's like, so what are you gonna do, Sol? What are you gonna do? What about the Speed Championship? Are you gonna hang on to that? Like, what are you gonna do? Like? What? Oh,
and she's like, I'll hang on to this. Yeah, she's like, no, I got this one.
Yeah. It was like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. Like, you just, it's completely up to you. What do you? I'm like, no, Ava. Like, you're the GM. Like, Adam Pearce literally just had to beg and plead Braun Breaker to take the title. Why couldn't Braun Breaker just say, hey, I'll defend this at Saturday night's main event against CM Punk if that's all Zarya has to do? I know it's two different universes, and what happens in NXT stays in NXT and doesn't go to the WWE main roster. But yeah, it was a very weird segment. But I think she's hurt, but I don't think she's injured, if that makes sense. Like I think she probably has a same thing with Seth Rollins. People are like, Seth Rollins faked a knee injury. No, he didn't. I think he was legitimately hurt. I think he had a fake. I think he had a legit knee injury. But I think where they worked
and it wasn't serious. Yeah.
On the severity of it. And I think that's what this is. I think this is probably a sprain or a strain or a mild tweak, but nothing serious. And I think it's going to keep Sol Ruca out of the ring for a couple of weeks. But I don't think if she had torn her ACL, she would have known. If she had torn anything, she would have vacated that championship immediately. So I do think that she's legitimately hurt, but she's not injured, and she'll miss a little bit of time. But I don't think it's a story. Like I don't think they're using that as a story.
All right. Well, we'll get into the predictions next. But okay, so what's the similarity between Sol Ruca and the first Seth Rollins? Neither of them vacated. That's exactly when I knew Seth was fake. As soon as he said he was holding on to the briefcase, I was like, it's fake. They're like, you wouldn't hold they're not going to let him hold it for 10 months for no reason. Like I knew he was hurt. They either would have stripped him of it, had another match, or had someone beat him up and challenge him for it and then just pin him or something. They wouldn't have just had, that's how I knew it was fake. Something that's not fake, and that's the Hardys versus Dark State at Halloween Havoc, baby. The world wanted it when the Hardys left and went to TNA and then they came back. Everybody wanted broken Matt Hardy. We never got it. It never really went in. The whole delete, it was there, but not really. Now we're finally getting it. We got
Matt Hardy.
Woken Matt Hardy. Yeah, we got broken Matt Hardy. The Hardys are back. We're having a Broken Rules match on the farm or the lot or whatever. What is it called? I forget, but they had everyone. They had his kids, the compound. Yeah, they had the kids deleting. They had Reba deleting. They had everybody on that shit. Everybody was on NXT. The Hardys are back, baby. What say you? You pumped about this? How cool was that segment? No?
Yeah, that segment was really cool. It was very, very well done, and probably one of the best things that I've seen on NXT TV this year. So, I guess I'm excited for it. I mean, I'm kind of, I don't know, like I like the Hardy Boys, and I love Broken Matt. I liked Brother Nero. I like that gimmick when it was in TNA, but I don't know. I got a little stale.
It did. Opinion. I was gonna say that it did get boring. Yeah,
it got very boring, especially when he came to WWE and he tried to reinvent it there. Then he went to AEW and he was teleporting and all this. It was just all this stuff. Like he brought
when it was COVID, right? When it was COVID, he was like the only one. He was like delete, like in the crowd all by himself. Yeah. I remember that.
He was like Glenda in the bubble and Wizard of Oz, just like teleporting everywhere. It's like this is like it got really stupid. So I'm cautiously optimistic about this match. Like I have no doubt it'll be good. I remember the last time they did a match like a movie quality match, like a documentary style match, like they did with the first Ultimate. I can't remember if it was the Ultimate Deletion or the Final Delete, whatever they did in TNA the first time around was fantastic. The one they did in WWE against the Wyatts was kind of whack, but because they just tried to relive them that glory. But this one, I'm kind of sort of excited about, but I'm also like kind of bored with the broken gimmick, and it just feels like they're randomly putting it out there when they haven't been doing it. So curious to see what they do, but I am cautiously optimistic that it's going to be good.
Well, can't all 4 Dark State members wrestle in this match? It's broken rules.
Yeah, which means there are no rules. So I guess they could. Yeah, which means and they can get the Hardys can get their wives, they can get their kids involved. So.
Oh, they will. You know, their kids are going to do some like swantons, and they have before. It's not going to be like, they're going to. Yeah, it's going to be wild. Oh, those cinematic. I hated them all.
That's the word I was looking for. Cinematic.
I didn't even like AJ and Undertaker, and everybody loves it. I didn't like John Cena and Bray Wyatt. I didn't like any of them. I thought that was
I like the first one that they did the one they did in TNA when they like first introduced it, and Broken Matt has just become a thing, and it was Matt versus Jeff. I like that one. That one was good. But then they then they did it again, and I was like, okay, it's like The Hangover 2, right? We didn't need the sequel. And then when they did it in WWE, and that was The Hangover 3. I was like, we definitely didn't need this. So that's how. And now I'm kind of hoping that this is a little bit different, but I have a feeling it's going to be the same.
Yeah, I think it will be.
And
All right.
are both
What?
titles on the line? Are both the TNA and NXT titles on the line? Is it winner take all? Or is it
No, I don't
just
think
the
so. You have the
NXT?
graphic. I think it's just the NXT. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see when we do predictions. But yeah, speaking of, it's prediction time, baby. That is our weekend review. It was a good week of wrestling nonetheless. A lot of stuff happened. I do like that, the Seth injury was handled weirdly with him not actually vacating it, but I like the reasoning. The Fatu injury, I like that they didn't just wipe him off and have him get jumped because at least it brings, intrigue into it. But we all know who did it, right? Rikishi, I did it for The Rock. I
That's
did it
right.
for The Rock. For
Nothing
those of you
gonna
people
blame
who
The
are
Rock.
watching who are too young, Rikishi once ran over Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin was ran over by a car, and 20 years later, we found out it was Rikishi. And then Rikishi said he did it for The Rock, who I believe wasn't even under contract anymore at the WWE at the time. But nonetheless, he did it for The Rock.
Yeah.
And then Rikishi turned evil. I actually like bad guy Rikishi. That's when he got pushed off the Hell in the Cell and landed like at the back of the haystack truck. I mean, Rikishi,
stuff, man.
he had good music. I like bad guy Rikishi. I like heels. That's just
my all-time favorite tag team is Too Cool, and when they
Yes.
would dance with Rikishi and stuff, it was so good. Like I loved it. And then when he turned heel, it was Rikishi that wasn't under contract, and that's how Mick Foley came to the conclusion because it was Grandmaster Sexay was like, yeah, me, Scotty Too Hotty, and Rikishi, we were partying in the back all night long, and that's when Mick Foley was like, Grandmaster said that you were back here, but you weren't even under contract, and that's why I think it was you, Rikishi. And then that's when he admitted that it was him, and he did it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock. But wasn't it a year later? It was a long time after, wasn't it? They he didn't have a plan. Yeah, Stone Cold got hurt, and they were like, all right, well, let's drop it.
It happened in 1999, Survivor Series 99. That's when the Big Show won the title. It was my first pay-per-view that I ever watched.
God, that was your first one, was Big Show winning. He had the worst title right. He defended it against the Big Boss Man. They gave him a title match randomly, and he was feuding with the Big Boss Man. So they were like, all right, well, I guess. And what should we do? Let's have the Big Boss Man tie your dead dad up to the back of a car and drag him. Anyway, keep going.
But yeah, it was my first pay-per-view that I ever watched. That's how I know all this stuff. And then Stone Cold came back at Backlash to help The Rock against Triple H. And he was like in The Rock's corner for some reason, but they didn't even you wouldn't have even known he got hit by a car. They didn't even talk about it. He just came out and beat up Triple H. And then he came back like 7 months later and was like, hey, by the way, I'm back now, and somebody ran me over with a car, and I'm going to find out who did it. And he was like beating everybody down that thought they did it. So yeah, it was definitely a year and a half later, something crazy like that.
Yeah. Weird stuff. But whatever. With that said, check out the Attitude Era. It's wild. And if you don't believe me, just watch AEW now. Hit that music. Let's get into prediction time.
It's prediction time. Before it ever happens, it's a prediction. Lean in close, take notes, listen. Cause they about to point it out quickly. All the things that you didn't see is getting called like plays at the line of scrimmage. You can take it to the bank, the dudes ain't tripping. They've been seeing what's coming for a good minute. It's prediction time, yeah, let's get it.
All right, I gotta bring up that graphic was BA. Look at that graphic before. Look at that graphic. I'm super excited for Obafemi's match at Halloween Havoc. I think I'm going to predict him possibly win. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Love you, Obafemi.
I know.
All right. Also, his match with JCJ, and I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's going to be one for the ages for sure.
Let's hit it up. All right. As always, we're doing predictions. And as always, Ryan is going to try to predict the order. I'm going to say right now he's already wrong, but let's get into it. We got one Blake Monroe. Is Zarya the champion then? Or is this open belt? I don't. Okay, so Zarya's defending Sol Ruka's North American Women's Championship against Blake Monroe. This is going to probably be the hardest match. I feel like it's easy, but I feel like it's not. Who wins? Let's hear it.
All right, before I get started, I'm gonna give you a list of names, and I want you to tell me something that they all have in common. All right.
All right. Mm-hmm.
So CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Stephanie Becerra, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Blake Monroe, Rusev, Penta, and Rusev and Penta, and that's it.
What do they all have in common?
Yeah.
CM Punk, Blake Monroe.
CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Stephanie Becerra, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Blake Monroe, Rusev, and Penta.
I don't know.
There's two things, but number one, they were all in AEW. Number two, they're either all champions or they're all in the title picture somehow. Rusev and Penta are in the.
Oh, they are. Yeah, I see. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's what
title.
they threw me off. You had me, and then they threw me off. They were in AEW. Yeah.
Ethan Page.
I missed that one.
Ethan Page is the North American champion.
Cody
Ricky Saints is the NXT. Cody Rhodes. CM Punk's getting a world heavyweight title match at Saturday Night's main event. Stephanie Becerra is the women's world champion. So with that being said, I'm predicting Blake Monroe wins the North American Championship because I feel like this is like, I don't think that's a coincidence. I brought that up because I don't think that's a coincidence. I feel like there's a reason they're doing that, and they're pushing a lot of the ex-AEW people pretty heavily right now. And maybe it's like their way of counter-programming by not counter-programming. I don't know. But either way, I don't think that's a coincidence. So I'm going to predict Blake Monroe gets her title, gets the North American Championship, and kind of gets her NXT career rejuvenated a little bit.
Fight forever. Fight for. Here's the thing, right? What does that say? You just made every AEW hardcore fan grin. They're like,
yeah.
They're all their hipster mustaches. That's them twisting their hipster mustaches.
Or
anyway.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, right? I feel like I'm going with Blake Monroe. I feel like she has to win this. I just don't see Zarya pinning her. The only way I see is if like Sol Ruka like helps and like holds like Blake's feet down as Zarya pins her, and then she wins, and then Zarya's like, yo, I didn't need your help, and Sol's like, yes, you did, and they start bickering, and that's leading to their end. But I feel like this is such an easier, quicker, let Blake win, have Sol get mad at Zarya for stepping in and losing it, have Zarya, and I think Sol Ruka will turn heel. Why not?
I do too.
Have Sol Ruka's fine ass turn heel, and she'll turn on Zarya and slap and beat the shit out of her, and then we'll move on with their feud moving forward. So I think it should start now. Have Blake win. Why not? Have her win clean. Just beat her.
I think that's what they're doing. I think Zarya was like, I'm gonna fight for you. I'm gonna defend this title with honor. I promise you, I'll do everything I can. I think she's gonna lose, and then that's what's gonna set Sol Ruka off. Like, this was my championship. I trusted you. You turned and you failed, and that's gonna turn Sol Ruka heel. And we're gonna get Sol versus Zarya for the Speed Championship, and then Blake Monroe
for the Speed Champion. I'm not giving up this belt.
That's right.
That was hilarious.
But either way, Blake Monroe's winning, and the list of AEW talents continuing to win belts goes on.
Yep. All right. What's next? Woo! The match we've all been waiting for. Javon Evans and the guy I've never heard of, Leon Slater, versus Mr. Iguana in the 17th iteration of La Parka. Who do you got? La Parka was wrestling in WCW, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure he died. Did he not? Or is he still alive and he just passed on? This is not that La Parka.
No.
So, but nonetheless, who do you got winning? Let's go.
It's Javon Evans and Leon Slater. I feel like they're the only like established team in this whole thing. This other thing was thrown together on this past Tuesday on NXT. There's been no build to this. I feel like they're pushing Javon Evans on. He's been on SmackDown a couple of times. He's had some great matches. He's had NXT championship matches. They're really pushing him. They're pushing Leon Slater in TNA. They can't lose to Iguana. They can't. They can't lose. Like, you. As over as he is and as popular as he is in AAA, these two guys really can't lose. So I'm going to say Leon Slater and Javon Evans get the win.
Yeah, it has to be them. Why would we have Mr. Iguana and La Parka win? I mean, it's not even the real La Parka, and it's a guy who chews on a fake iguana. If you're going to impress me, Mr. Iguana, let's see a real iguana, bro. Don't give me that fake rubber shit. I want a real iguana.
To me, he looks like I'm watching like a live stage production of like The Lion King or something, because he looks like the puppet master out there with, playing with his puppet iguana.
Yeah, but Javon Evans and Leon Slater for sure. And Leon Slater, don't wear the belt around your neck. You look stupid. That's like the dumbest shit I've ever. I hate that shit. I hate when there's like few people that have done it. The Usos.
Undertaker did it. Yeah.
Oh, even stupider. Yeah.
He wore it on
around the waist.
Rode the motorcycle down. Yeah.
So stupid. Around your waist. I hate when people put it around their shoulder too. All right. We got Ethan Page versus Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. for the North American title in a day of the Dead match. So Ryan, you're the producer. Go ahead and pick your winner and explain what a Day of the Dead match is.
I'm assuming it's just a hardcore street fight. I don't freaking know. I don't know. Like, I'm sure it's some sort of hardcore street fight, no disqualification, rules match. They're all the same. They're all the same.
I bet they'll go un poco loco.
They will. I bet they'll have pumpkins involved. I think they'll do all kinds of stuff. And it'll be a fight all around the arena and everything. But Ethan Page is winning. There's no way that he's dropping it to Dr. Wagner. So yeah.
Paging Dr. Wagner. Dr. Wagner. Aren't they calling you Dr. Wagner? I wouldn't say the real one. Yeah, we're not allowed to say that anymore in this state. I'm gonna watch that tonight. That movie is that's my favorite scene of the whole movie, by the way. Just Bradley Cooper yelling that out the window after he just said his friends were mature. It's The Hangover, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, seen it before. We talked about that. Yeah, I made reference to that earlier, but
Oh, you did. That's two. That's two in a row. Anytime I hear doctor, that's the first. Is that sad that that's the first thing I hear? Anytime. Paging doctor every single time. And that girl is so mad. He goes for a kiss and she's like, no, don't you got to leave, doctor? It's awesome. Nonetheless, yeah, Ethan Page is winning. And by the way, Day of the Dead, I do celebrate. And this year on Halloween night, I am going to put up all my family members and friends that have passed, light candles. I do the whole Coco thing. I love it. I think it's awesome that we remember. I think the number one thing that sucks in this life is that we die and then people forget about us a year later. I think it's super sad. I had my dad pass away. My best friend passed away 5 years ago. I visit both of them regularly. I'll continue to visit them. I visit them on their anniversaries and birthdays, and I'll have pictures of them hanging up. I think it's sad that we forget people. Hopefully no one forgets me, but that's just, how life works. But yeah, Day of the Dead's dope, but I don't know what a Day of the Dead match is, and I guess I'll find out at Halloween Havoc. So
yeah. I have a feeling it won't be like that.
No.
It won't be as sweet and sappy as you just made it.
No. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to get us. All right, let's get into it. We got one, Jacy Jayne versus Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's Championship. Who you got?
This one's hard, but I think Jacy Jayne's going to retain. I think I think Tatum Paxley's going to put up a fight, but I think the culling are going to either turn on her or they're going to inadvertently cost her the match. But Jacy Jayne's going to get the win here.
Yeah, Jacy Jayne got pinned, or Jacy Jayne pinned Tatum in the tag match, and I was like, oh shit, because you know how I go. Last person who wins loses the match, and I was like, oh shoot. Jacy Jayne's losing this match, and then she put her through a table and stood tall. Yeah. So yeah, I got Jacy Jayne. Yeah. As soon as Jayne went through that table, I was like, womp, womp. There that goes.
Yeah. Tatum will win the title eventually, just not yet.
Maybe. All right, here's the match we already talked about. Delete the Broken Hardys, who have titles galore versus all four members of the Dark State. I'm assuming their identities will be shown one day. Who do you got?
I'm going with the Hardys. I think they're going to retain. You can't have a match called the Ultimate Deletion Rules or whatever, the Broken Rules match, whatever you're calling it.
On their property,
just to lose. Now it is. Is it 4-on-2? Is it like? Or
I'm assuming.
But yeah, either way, the Hardys are gonna have equalizers, and they're gonna retain the titles.
Yeah, they're gonna have booby traps everywhere, this and that. Their kids. Matt Hart has 47 kids. Reba, who's hot but not hot, she'll interfere. I'm sure Jeff has some things going on. I don't know. There's all sorts of wild things that'll happen. So yeah, the Hardys, even though they'll be down 4-2, will find a way to win, and they will delete the Dark State. Poor Dark State, man. They're supposed to be like the shield of NXT. They've really fallen.
That fizzled out quickly.
Yes, it did. All right, main event time. We got one Ricky Saints defending his title against Trick Williams. Whoop that Trick, dude. Who do you got winning? Let's go.
Ricky Saints is winning. I think it's way too soon for him to drop his NXT championship. He cut a really fiery promo on TV this week. I thought Trick Williams delivered a great promo as well. It was a cool segment where they talked about Ricky's time on the Indies, but specifically did not mention his time in AEW, or maybe they were by calling it the Indies. I don't know.
The Indies,
yeah. But no, it was a good promo. It was a great way to get you interested in this match, and I think Ricky Saints is going to retain. The question isn't if, it's how. And I feel like something's going to go down after the match with somebody coming back or somebody debuting. Maybe that's where Obafemi comes in, and maybe him and Trick Williams form an alliance, and they take out Ricky Saints. I don't know. I just he's on the poster, so I feel like something's going to happen. But Ricky Saints is going to win the actual match itself.
Oh, here's the thing. I have Ricky Saints highlighted. I wanted to pick Ricky Saints, but although I wrote Ricky Starks, here's the thing, right? Ricky Saints is, I have to continue with I say, whoever gets the last laugh
and Shawn Michaels
loses
really
the
good
match.
Yeah.
Loses the match. And Trick Williams got laid out by Ricky Saints to close NXT. And I was shocked. My jaw dropped. So I have to go with Trick Williams. I think I'm wrong. And this is the only one we disagree on, but I'm going to go Trick. Until it's proven wrong, right? You keep rooting for and like every single time I'll pick Okada, right? Until he loses, which he never does. I'm not going to pick against Okada, right? It's hard to pick against the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Because they're probably going to win. They always do, right? Tom Brady, like there's just certain things. And every single time the guy gets the last laugh, he loses. They don't usually double up. So unless there's shenanigans that cost Trick Williams, so someone helps Ricky Saints, that's the only way they can do it. Yeah, but he would have to help Ricky Saints. That's the only way. But other than that, I got to go Trick Williams just to keep my theory alive. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think whatever happens, I mean, it's a pretty impressive slate for Ricky Saints to face Obafemi and dethrone him and then get the opportunity.
Dude, and then if he beats, but even if he beats Trick, that's saying something, right? Beating the two best guys in the past 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. All right, that's our predictions. Don't know if you can take them to, DraftKings or not, because we're that last one, but do it anyway.
Everything going on in the NBA, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about people gambling anymore. So.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'll talk to you about that off record. That's stupid. All right, let's get into it. It is time for our every week segment, and that is our LVD and MVD of the week of WWE, where we'll give our least valuable and most valuable dude or dudettes. It's not that we hate or love you; it's who we thought was the worst or best booked for this week. Ryan, who is your LVD of the week?
I hate to do it, man, but it's going to be Finn Balor and JD McDonough for losing the tag team championships to a randomly thrown together tag team over the last, month or so of AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. And, shout out to AJ Styles. He's been really cooking lately. He's feuding with Dirty Dom. He's feuding with John Cena. He's going after tag team. Now he's a tag team champion. So shout out to him. But yeah, I hate what they've done to the Judgment Day. It feels like another, everybody's losing in Judgment Day now, except for Dirty Dom. It feels like 1 week they're strong, next week they suck. And this was one of those weeks where they were all, except for Dirty Dom, terrible. So unfortunately, it's going to be JD McDonough and Finn Balor.
Good picks. I'm going with an actual PLE, and I'm going with Crown Jewel. I thought Crown Jewel was the best PLE since they went on ESPN, but Tiffany Stratton said, hold my beer, and she won SmackDown and literally stated the women's SmackDown champion, who hasn't been pinned in over a year, got on TV and stated in an interview that Crown Jewel does not matter. I'm sorry to break it to you, Ryan. If your wife got on TV and had a sign up that said, Ryan, we're getting a divorce, I would give you the LVD of the week, even though you weren't wrestling in that match. This was her basically saying, Crown Jewel, you suck and you're pointless and we shouldn't have this match. So Crown Jewel, you take the L this week, even though you did not even happen this week and you were a good event.
It was a good event, but
it really was.
Tiffany Stratton was right. At the end of the day, it was good for storyline.
Did she lose her title?
Yeah, she didn't lose her title. Cody Rhodes didn't lose his title.
Nope.
Nothing. They're all protected. So, I think that's a pretty solid pick.
All right, let's end it on a positive. Who's your MVD of the week? Are we going to have the same one? Let's see.
I am going your boy, your doppelganger, Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Yes, sir.
The man beat Penta in an Intercontinental Championship match on Monday Night Raw. He's embracing this gimmick of his where he's basically taking the Eddie Guerrero gimmick of lying, cheating, and stealing victories, but he's kind of making it his own. He's doing all kinds of shenanigans where the ref didn't see him get eliminated, so he sneaks back in. Just all these cool things, and the crowd seems to be really digging everything that he's doing. He was the runner-up in the Battle Royal. He should have won the Battle Royal, but yeah, he's had a great week. He beat Rusev last week. He beat Penta this week. Penta took out Rusev this week. I mean, it was just all kinds of good stuff. Or Rusev took out Penta rather. So, yeah, Dirty Dom, man, like everything he's doing is gold. And I can't wait for Liv Morgan to come back now that JD McDonough and Finn Balor don't have the tag team titles. What's going to happen with the Judgment Day? Like the future is bright. John Cena's right around the corner for Dirty Dom. So there's all kinds of bright future ahead for Dominic Mysterio. So he's definitely my MVD of the week.
Yeah, he should have won the Battle Royal. My MVD of the week has to go to one man and one man only, not my doppelganger. He should win it every week. But the man who literally was a nobody, took a year off, and came back and beat Sami Zayn in the U.S. Open Men's Challenge, and that is one Dragunov. For a guy to be injured, sit out for a year, come in out of nowhere, no one gives a shit. He gets a match and pins Sami Zayn after Sami Zayn was literally talking about having a feud with Shinsuke moving forward. How can you not give it to that man? Dragunov, I hope they use you wisely, but I'm assuming they're not going to, but we shall see. I'll let it cook.
And you know what? I'm going to go honorable mention LVD, Shinsuke Nakamura, because Nick Aldis was like, Shinsuke really needs to get his rematch. He needs to get a clean rematch. He needs to get a rematch. And then Ilya Dragunov comes in and it's like, I'm going to win the title. And he wins the belt. So now does Shinsuke still get his rematch, or is that just thrown away? Because Sami Zayn's going to get the rematch. Good pick. I think the crowd was happy to see Ilya Dragunov back.
We'll see how it works later. Yeah,
the IWC was happy to see him back. That's for sure. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's a good pick. He won the U.S. title. Nobody saw it coming. I don't care what anybody says. That was out of the blue. And surprises are sometimes a good thing. So we'll see what they do with it from here.
Yeah, I agree. All right, that was our week in review of WWE. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to 5-star if you're listening to us. And don't forget to share and tell your friends. We want these views back up. We want to get cooking on here. This is what we're doing. We're back. We're steady again. No more time off. We are doing twice a week. If you like AEW as well, we're going to do our AEW edition tomorrow. We're going to talk all things Dynamite and Wrestle Dream, so tune into that. As always, if you just like to hear me talk, you can catch me at my_wrestling_opinion on all social media. TikTok hates me, so please get me on there. I got 17,000 followers, and they only give me about 100 views a video. So get on there, share me there too, and on Instagram. And with me, as always, the man who started posting again.
That's right. Ryan Enjoys Wrestling on all the social media platforms. Go follow me there. Go follow us as a podcast at Two Dudes with Attitudes on TikTok. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really want to start getting this thing going. And like you said, we're not taking any more time off. So now you're going to see us all over the TikTok algorithm. You're going to see us on the shorts. So help us continue to grow by subscribing here at Two Dudes with Attitudes. We're on Instagram at Two Dudes with Attitudes Podcast. We're on Twitch at Two Dudes with Attitude. We're live on Twitch right now as we speak, so go follow us there if you haven't. And we're on X at Two Dudes PC, so go follow us there. And then if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, where we are in the top 10% of all listened to wrestling podcasts, keep that momentum going. Help us continue to grow and put us in the top 5%, the top 1%. And the way to do that is to leave us 5-star ratings and reviews and tell everybody about your favorite dudes on the internet.
Yes, sir. Two Dudes Wolfpack. We out. Thank you for tuning in.
Two dudes with attitudes. Let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're riding and denting. They here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point.